Outstanding.
Welcome again to another tutorial video. It's your boy Eldorado and Ting. Been a while since I put up a video, and however I've been scrolling through and I haven't seen I've uploaded a video on drums. Before we get into this, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell notification button, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and also Audio Mac at Eldorado Productions. However, there are two groups links below, Telegram Messenger and WhatsApp group. It's a group for mixing engineer, beat makers alike, and people who are in the same field as you also. So without further ado, we dive into this tutorial. However, today it's all about drums. I haven't really showed anyone the process that I really go through with my drums. It's pretty much simple, and as is most time if I not have really dive deep in the source material me get. Majority of the time the source material that I really get are the source material me use. They are already okay, so I don't really trouble them that much more than do some parallel enhancing. So on this particular track, I'll be sure to leave a link below of the final product. It's a song by Shine Time. I build the rhythm. Mute them. My VC them set up correctly for this particular tutorial, so I just have to just mute bust them individually. As you can see, different color coding for these things. So we are focused on drums. So these are the drums that we really have in this particular session. Alright, so we'll put it there. I have a kick, I have an ethnic snare, and a tacayo drum, if I pronounce it properly. Really weird. Mostly you will hear them in Chinese war movie like, or medieval type stuff, ensemble, something like. Anyways, for this particular instrumental, just trying some weird things, and it so happened that it's reaching out. So enough with the talking and things. So I could get into it. So I mute these two, go on to my mixer, and this is what the kick sounds like solo up. Pretty tight. First and foremost, what I did, me kick mono. Now watch everything over here some mono because me not start pan nothing yet. Me normally balance in mono and level in mono, but for some reason I stopped panning before me even start mix. Me try to mix everything in mono, and once it sound good in mono, then at the end of the me start pan them out how me really want them in the mix and make some little adjustment after. What me get to really understand from that, being doing it like that, me can't get it really wide enough in mono as how me really need it. So when me pan it out, in the stereo feel, it even sound more bigger and more wider. So me try to get as much width in mono as me possibly can before me really pan out the sounds them way out on the sides. So hope that little tip works for you. It I see people mixing stereo or pan out everything, and it really work. It's just how you really approach work. This is my approach to mixing now, 2019. Probably next year might change, or before the year done it might change. So we enough chatting. Probably as a boy rather can chatty. Anyways, first the kick that is in this instrumental is from the Dancehall free kit. I'll be sure to leave the link in the description below, among many other goodies. recording template and other things. So what I have on this is just because the kick already sound good. What we really need on this particular kick is a little compression, so and a little analog warmth from a plugin. So however, I tend to use the SSL 4000G uh, channel strip, and I high pass filter around 25 hertz. You know, the really low sub frequency. You know, I don't really want my compressor really work so hard, really down there, in which we probably not hear that or you know play or whatever the case may be. But I don't really take out that much for leave it, make it kick sound thin. So I take out a about 25 hertz. Sorry for me mistalking, because you know calculating things and really explaining it at the same time it can be pretty much confusing if you don't really do it a lot of times. So let me play this. Alright, so I'm getting between 3 to 6 dB minus 3 to 6 dB of gain reduction, and pretty much I leave everything as is without no makeup gain, and leave the analog mode select in. Next, what I did on this kick track is I sidechain it to the bass, added something we call drum dirt on this channel. So the drum dirt is a very compressed signal, lo-fi distorted signal that is heavily compressed. That's the best way that we can really explain it. What first we have on this channel is the lo-fi plugin with a little bit of distortion, a tiny bit. I pretty much leave everything as is. This plugin come with Pro Tools. It's a stock plugin, so yeah, you don't really have to run up or down, or probably you can find some sort of lo-fi plugin if you use other DAW like Studio One, etc. What I have next on the chain is Isotope Trash plugin, in which I use the Nasty Boy preset. Sometimes really change them around to get different type of sound, and I added a filter to it, EQ'd it a little bit, high pass some of it and duck out some, and you know shaping it the way I'm really need it, because through I'm dealing with low frequency here. I don't really need anything that is high in this particular plugin. And then I compressed it a little, pretty much heavily. So before me bypass all of them. So that we sound without all of them someday. Bypass everything. Console. Drum dirt. Lo-fi with drum dirt. So enable this. Turn on this and this. I'll start here, so filter, dynamics. So as you can see, it is getting tiny bits of the body onto this particular kick. Next, I added a compressor, a stock compressor, compressing it a little bit with a 6 dB of makeup gain, with a very moderate compression ratio and almost somewhat hard knee. And I added a stock EQ after to duck out the mid frequency. I really need that on this particular low sound, so I really try to keep as much low information parallel to the drums. So I have a kick snare crush, in which I use a 160 compressor, DBX 160 model type compressor, on a mono auxiliary send return, and pretty much leave everything as is. I'm not really chop, just slap it on it and see if it will work as is. As I can see, that is where I have it. So without it, with it, without it. So these tiny bits of things that I'm doing to the kick, for argument's sake, it keeps on adding a little bit more flavor, a little bit more warmth, a little bit more everything. It's just tiny bits of things that I'm doing instead of, the turn up this and over that and blah blah blah. Me kind of mix a lot in parallel more than really apply plugin to stuff directly. I might slap on a EQ, you see, cleaning up the sound and whatever the case may be, because sometimes you get some source material they are not really of much standard, or sometimes you get some new stuff where you really want to try, regardless of its quality, you really want to use an EQ. But however, on this kick also, I use a drum crush. A little bit. What I did on this drum crush is just a 670 compressor, and I just for color purpose, I really need the color from this, the tube and the what the other thing, the tube and some other thing where they model it off of. I really like that color from it, and it kind of green a little bit, and so we kind of use this one because you have 3 different modes. Are the type the model it from 3 different type of, it's a 6, it model it from 3 different 670. So I think this one is Los Angeles. I think one of them must have been repaired with some other something from the original, and it kind of did sound different, so they model that also and put it in the plugin. So you have 3 different modes. That's why I'm really like this one, because you can switch between. The others, them just standard as is, but them really sound good, especially the waves one may use before we start to use this one. But this one is a bit more cleaner and they have a lot more control, so I tend to stick to this one. So but for the kick, I just the color I didn't really need from it, so I just use it in parallel also to add color to the kick, a little bit more punch. Yeah, so these little things them add up and help with the sound that I'm really try to go for all the time. Me drums them. So this what I call Fatso is modeled from Arosa and Imperial Labs. That seems to people who make the de-stressor plugin. However, the settings we really use on this I push in and I take out with somewhat fast attack, fast release, with the nuke settings enabled. So this is what it is like. Pretty much with the Takayat drum. Yeah, pretty much I have the same settings with this and this. I really change nothing or take out nothing, because I never really want to get rid of the sound I really have already. Moving on, I think on the war drum, I added a little tiny bit of thickener to it, because I never really like how it sound without it. With it. Alright, so what me just use the H910 plugin from Eventide and use the drum thickener 1 preset, and I used it in parallel to the track. So that's pretty much it for the kick sound. So what I'm gonna do, I'll move on to the snares. Alright, so we add the effects as we go along. This is what it sounded like originally. Alright, so first and foremost, what I did is the 4000E plugin strip, channel strip, filtered around 50 hertz with a nice slope. I compress it heavily, but due to the heavy ratio on this and the extreme threshold, you know, I still get 3 dB again because I turned it down before it reached here, so it never really that loud with the stereo mode enabled. However, the top me really shave off a lot in dB, almost 6 dB, because it was a little bit too bright for me. So without the plugin, and I boosted the low mids or the lows overall to get a little bit more body onto it. But after this plugin, I compressed it again moderately, so it brings up a little bit more excitement to the drums, bring up excitement and still keeping the transient. So you know, I'm really want the snare get really excited, so me use this, you know, if it help with control, you know, because I don't really want a set ratio or set anything. We just want something with very few control. We can really tune it to my liking. And the two-way compressor seems to do it right for this particular snare. And after that, I added a multi-band compressor to control the tops of this particular snare. After that, again, I heard a weird sound in the low mids. Yeah, so I ducked out some of it, you know, kind of trying to find that balance with not taking all of it out, because it worked in context, but it was just too much for this particular track. So on the snare, I use some snare verb to kind of give it a little bit more space. What I did, I use a gate compressor, expander gate, I should say, and then we use the stock plugin from Avid and use the large ambience one preset and keep the reverb time natural. So I tend to use a lot of stock plugin, should in case we have to move from here to there, or move from between computers, so I don't really lose a lot of things. So I try to use as much stock plugin as possible where they sound good. I added drum dirt among everything else. Yeah, so I'm mostly enhancing, really going with my drums them. You know, me not really add a lot of plugins if me not really need it. You know, me just mix in parallel, just adding flavor to it, you know. So other than that, now on the bus, I really have a discrete compressor, gluing everything together, and I compressed it moderately with about 4 dB of gain reduction and makeup gain also, and 3 dB of makeup gain. So I'm gonna play this. Yeah, so the Takaya drum and the kick drum, you know, kind of bringing up a lot on me of it, where the compressor really works that hard, but it's very transparent, you know. So I'm gonna bypass it. Yeah, so I like how that really sound. You know, really sound like in a pump or anything like that. But it really sound really nice. I really need that with a very moderate ratio, um, 2 to 1 ratio. Other than that, it did sound pretty much fine to me, but it wasn't really loud enough, so I added a limiter and turned it up a tiny beany bit to get it where I really need it. For some reason, I just like the tone of this on drums. I don't really like it for limiting overall. But I've seen people use it and get great result. But for me, I don't really like the color of this particular L2 limiter. Yeah. But it works here on the drum, so I always have it here. Or sometimes if you know really correspond with what I really like it, me use Avid stock Maxim plugin. Yeah, it really have a nice tone or color to it. Some really, really color that really transparent, but it's just nice. So is it that this are the stock limiter that comes with Pro Tools? So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be sure to leave a link in the description below of this particular song, so you can really click on it and listen it. So until further, until next time again, it's a boy Eldorado. Have a great one. If you like the video, thumbs up. If you don't like it, you know what to do. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified as soon as I really upload any type of video whatsoever. So until next time, again, peeps, keep on saying that it's a boy, Eldorado. Peace out.